The ancient Egyptians didn't see the king as an ordinary human being. No, they saw him as the son of the gods, the mediator between heaven and earth. The pharaoh was the one who maintained the balance between good and evil, between chaos and order. From this, the greatest myth known to the Egyptians was born, the myth of Osiris, Isis, and Horus. Osiris, the god of good, was conspired against and killed by his brother, Set, the god of evil. Isis refused to give up. She gathered her husband's remains and brought him back to life. From their relationship came Horus, who fought a long war with Set to avenge his father and restore the balance of the universe. This myth is not just a story. It was the foundation upon which the Egyptians built their religious and political thought. The king is Horus, who must fight evil and ensure that the world remains orderly. But it wasn't just myths. The Egyptians performed the first organized rituals for the gods in temples. For them, the temple wasn't a mosque or a church for all people. No, it was the house of God, where only priests served. Every day, the priests would wash the statue of the god with pure water from the Nile, dress it in fine linen, and offer it incense and food, as if it lived with them. The Egyptians believed that these rituals weren't optional. If they were stopped, the Nile might not flow, and the sun might not rise. Religion for them wasn't just faith. It was a guarantee for the survival of the universe itself. Here comes the question. What was the world around them like at that time? During the same period, in Mesopotamia, Sumerian, and Babylonian, people also worshipped gods associated with nature, the rain god, the moon god, and the sun god. But their myths were always filled with fear. Man worshipped the gods to avoid their wrath. As for the Egyptians, they saw the gods as closer to them, offering them protection and nurturing their lives from seed to death. And what about the Greeks? At the time of Menes and the early kings, they were still small tribes without a clear religious system. Their myths as we know them today, such as Zeus and Aphrodite, appeared centuries later. In other words, the Egyptians were hugely ahead of them in building a complete religious world. Even in ancient Europe, the Celtic and Germanic peoples worshipped nature in a very simple way: trees, rocks, rivers, without any system or fixed rituals. The Egyptians, however, outpaced them and did something ingenious. Organized myths like Osiris and Horus, daily sacred rituals in temples, belief in life after death, and preparation for the journey to immortality. And all of this was under the leadership of the Pharaoh, whom they considered not just a king, but a god walking the earth. From the Nile River, which was a lifeline, and from a long struggle between the north and the south, and from one king who was able to unite all of Egypt, here was born the first great state in history, Pharaonic Egypt. The state that changed the face of the world and was the beginning of a civilization that remained standing for thousands of years. But the question we must ask is, what happened after unification? How did the pharaohs immortalize their names throughout the ages? Was a crown and a throne enough to keep their name alive? Or was it necessary for them to leave behind a miracle that defied time and death itself? And here emerged the greatest secret in human history: the pyramids. Stone buildings, but with the spirit of immortality. no one to this day has been able to fully understand their secret. How were they built and why? And were they merely cemeteries or something much greater? We'll find out all of this in the next episode. In The Secret of the Pyramids. How did the pharaohs defy death?